Each year, hundreds of animals are adopted at the Lewis and Clark Humane Society, but for some animals, it can take years to find their forever home. MTN's John Riley has more about the Humane Society's longest resident and the woman who uprooted her life to adopt him.
Tony first came to the Humane Society almost 4 years ago, and during his time at the shelter, he's had 3 unsuccessful adoption attempts. Tony suffers from separation anxiety and becomes very stressed out when he's left alone for any amount of time. And each time he was brought back to the shelter, his anxiety got worse.
He was very stressed out. He didn't understand being left behind again. No, and some dogs do great here. They come in and they're like, hey, friends, and they have the best time in play groups. Have a lot of support from our community and from our volunteers, and we just all try and do our best. But for some dogs, it's just really hard on them.
Tony began to lose a lot of weight, and few people were showing interest in adopting him. Staff were beginning to become very concerned about Tony's future. Then they got a phone call from Cassidy Cook of Bozeman, who was not only interested, but said she would do whatever it takes to do what was best for Tony, including moving to Helena.
Oh, we couldn't believe that someone was so seriously interested, because she was living in a place where she couldn't have dogs, and she said, you know what, I'm just gonna move.
Cook says she saw Tony's story on Facebook and instantly fell in love with him.
Finally, I just had a moment where I was like, you know what? I know that I can take care of this dog, and I know that if I adopt this dog, I will not leave him.
Cook would spend the next months working with Tony to slowly build trust with him.
It was just my way of trying my best to put some good out into the world.
Tony is now living happily in his new home. Cook says they're still working on Tony's separation anxiety, but she couldn't imagine her life without him. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
There are currently 28 dogs at the Humane Society that are looking for their forever homes.